Okay, so in this video I'm going to describe why capitalism is going to fail, and it's my theory. I don't know if you agree with it, and if you read that book Atlas Shrugged, which I did not, but I have heard about it, my take is basically the opposite. And it's basically going to allude indirectly or directly to the Tower of Babel, and people right now are really concerned about getting ahead and getting ahead through taking on new challenges. Now, this is great, but the challenges that they're able to accomplish, they've not accomplished yet. They're looking to skip through what they're capable of to a job or a position that they're not capable of. And I've been seeing this everywhere, and maybe within myself with these videos, because I'm not an intellectual, and I've admitted that many times. Now, what I'm seeing right now is people overqualified for positions and on paper, but in actual life, they're not fulfilling the duties. So that's a broken system right there. Now, how I got to the Tower of Babel is people are always driving for perfection. They're driving for the image of perfection because they can't find perfection because perfection doesn't exist. Now, we're always constantly talking about going to the moon, going to Mars, doing this, doing that, but people can't take care of themselves. So there's no base. Now, if you're building a pyramid, a tower, whatever, you need a strong base, a house, a foundation. You need a base. You don't start with the roof. You start with the base. You start with a concrete pour. That's what you start with. And if you don't have a solid concrete pour and a big base, a strong foundation, you're not going to be able to build anything up, let alone a Tower of Babel that's going to collapse. You're not going to be able to build it. And people are trying to build it even though there is no love, for a lack of a better word, for the base. There's no care in pouring the base, supporting the base. And it's all about, it's basically a Ponzi scheme. The way we're functioning is we're carrot and sticked into building these grand towers for other people that will fall. Now, I was using the tower as a metaphor for the system in general, so I might have confused some people with that. That's my bad. Like I said, I'm not an intellectual, but it will fall. We're not supporting people. Now, the people on the streets need a universal basic income. That's been established for a long time. Even Milton Friedman, a right-wing libertarian, agreed with this. It's not a new concept. Every trial that's been run has been successful. You need to work with what you can do, not what you want to be able to do. You look at someone like David Goggins, who runs 100 kilometers. If he doesn't set out a plan, he might run that 100 kilometers in the wrong direction. And that's what we're doing right now with building this tower to nowhere. Just to appease status symbols, to have a Mercedes that we don't want. So we're stepping over people that are doing their jobs as expendable garbage, and we're putting them on the street. They have nowhere to go. They're dying. These people can do work. They want to work. Nobody wants to be dying on the street with fentanyl in their veins. Nobody wants this. There's this mentality that these people are somehow living the good life. They're not living the good life. Trust me. There's like this old Nixon welfare Cadillac type motif coming back, that people that are living on welfare are living great lives. These people have the same shoes they've had on 10 years ago. These people aren't living great lives. They want better. Okay? But what they need is a strong community. We need a strong foundation. We're building this tower to nowhere. We have people that have these yachts, and then people shitting in sandwich bags on the sidewalk. We need to clean house here. And I don't mean that might be the wrong term, because I think Hitler said shit like that. We need to make sure our house is orderly and everything is perfectly in balance. Now, what that means to me is somebody who might not be looked upon as able to work. They can probably work 2-3 shifts a week with a universal basic income. A lot of these people on the street can do that. You get the people on the street to do that. You give them enough to survive and a little bit of hope, a little bit of community, a little bit of love. That's a base. And we're not feeding these people, and the base is dying. Now you're looking to fill these positions with college educated students who need a second job to afford rent. And all they're doing is not working, putting the load on one person who is, and then they're status signaling, oh, well, I don't need this job anyways. I have this education. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. We need to be reasonable. We need to look at ourselves. We need to understand what we can and can't accomplish. We need to be realistic with our goals. That's what I'm thinking. I think it will collapse because we are building an ideal that doesn't exist. It's a Ponzi scheme. It doesn't exist. It's going to fall. Okay. Bye.